Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to another edition of Star Citizens Anniversary Sale Information Report Spectacular. Today we will be focusing on Origin Jumpworks. So the ships of Origin, a lot of them are, well, not a lot, a good amount of them are available year-round. So I'll be skipping over those ones. So let's get right to it. Let's actually do these ones in order in terms of price. So we'll start out with the base X1. The X1 base. Welcome to the next level with the X1 Origin Jumpworks new high-performance open canopy vehicle. Built from lightweight polymers, the X1 takes speed and agility to the next level thanks to seamlessly integrated engine technology and joint vector thruster placement. Innovative design and high-quality engineering weave together to create a flight experience like no other. Now, they say flight, but this is more of like a speeder, although this can be CCU'd up to other ships. Now, some people were asking what's the difference between a ground vehicle and something like this, and the ground vehicles can only go to other ground vehicles, so that would be all of the Cyclones and the Ursa. So what don't count as ground vehicles, they count as snubs, not ground vehicles, would be the X1s, the Nox, and the Dragonflies. So if you have those, you've got one of those with LTI, you can CCU that to a ship and get LTI on that ship. With the Cyclones, you can only get other Cyclones or an Ursa. So bear that in mind. So the X1, it's basically just that. This is kind of like a sleeker, white version of the Nox. It is formed a little bit differently, but for all intents and purposes, they serve the same purpose, only with a different aesthetic. So that way, if you liked what the idea of a Nox was, but maybe didn't like the look, you wanted something a little more sleek, something that was more, I guess, sterile, something that didn't look so, well, it looked more like this than the Nox. Well, here you go. And the X1s, I believe, are also right around $40. Yep, so the base X1, $40. So if you're looking to get yourself a nice little speeder, here you go. Next up in the X1 line is the Velocity, which is the racing variant. How do you make fast go faster? Origin Jumpworks X1 Velocity dares to push the boundaries of speed by stripping down the base X1 to its core elements, eliminating the weapon mount, and incorporating new Syntec composites to create a lighter chassis for overall weight loss. So, again, basically, this is just a regular X1, except it's got the racing stripe, a racing number. You now lose the weapon mount, okay? That's important. And it's going to be, or at least has the idea of being slightly lighter than a base X1 to give you that little bit more speed, shave those couple of milliseconds off your lap time. And that's just it. This is specifically for those who want to do like speed races, and maybe do sick jumps or something like that. The X1 Velocity, if that sounds good to you, might be exactly what you're looking for. And the Velocity, $45, so just 5 extra bucks. I'm a little torn on this one personally. Losing the weapon mount, I feel, can be quite the detriment. Obviously, though, if you're only doing competitions and racing, you shouldn't need weapons, so that should be okay. Last but not least, at least in the X1 line, is the Pathfinder. Built to endure tougher environments and look good doing it, the X1 Force is a modified version of the base X1 model, featuring additional defensive elements to toughen up this speedy and agile open canopy bike allowing it to serve in a variety of roles, from exploring worlds to potential security infiltration ops. So, the Force, it's like the more geared towards the militia, has a little bit extra armor, if I'm understanding correctly. Look at the weapon on there. I think that's the new Badger. Or the new, let's see, Bulldog? Yeah, so it's Bulldog. So the base X1 comes with an M3A, or M31, whereas the Force comes with a Bulldog. Now, in my opinion, the Bulldog is a much more superior weapon. So if you're looking for something with a mix of speed and fighting ability, the Force might be with you. This might be the model for you. And the Force is $50. Next up in the Origin line is the 600i Explorer. So now the Explorer is basically it's supposed to be like a mini 890 jump. Kind of a mix between the Constellation Phoenix and a miniature 890. So let's jump right in. Let the voyage begin with the 2947 600i from Origin Jumpworks. This multi-role luxury vessel from Origin Jumpworks features an exquisitely detailed hull design that balances performance and versatility in a sleek and timeless form. 600i is designed with a cutting-edge modular technology, allowing you to customize your ship for your needs. Looking to stamp your name in history with the discovery of a new star system? The 600i's Explorer module swaps the lounge for a robust scanning station, as well as additional utility hardpoints to increase the ship's effectiveness even more. So basically what you're getting is, this is obviously the Explorer-based 600. It's supposed to be the luxury exploration vehicle. As the description says, you actually forego the lounge, which I believe is this right here in this picture, for a scanning suite. And as well, you also get the area to hold an X1 rover, which is this picture here. Now, I believe they show the Ursa in this area, but it's going to be an an Origin-specific rover that will be in there. It has been stated that you'll be able to have the rover and an X1 in there together. It'll be a little cramped, but it's doable. And I also believe that this is one of the scanning stations that you'll get with the exploration model. Now, the exploration model is kind of expensive. It is going to be up in the $435 range. Again, though, with the exploration model, it's going to come with a rover. So if you don't have one and you want a ship that's luxury, the 600i might be right up your alley. 600i Explorer, because along with the Explorer, we also have the Touring model, not module, although there might be modules later on. Let the voyage begin with the 2947 600i from Origin Jumpworks. This multi-role luxury vessel from Origin Jumpworks features an exquisitely detailed hull design that balances performance and versatility in a sleek and timeless form. The 600i is designed with cutting-edge modular technology, allowing you to customize your ship for your needs. Taking the family on a long-distance trip across the stars, the touring module lets your guests relax in ease with stunning furniture from some of the Empire's top designers. Now, this is the model that I originally had, but I melted a bunch of ships to get it, and after the Q&A came out, I felt like I had made a mistake and promptly melted it. Now, that's not to say that this isn't your ideal ship, and if it is, power to you, I'm glad. This is going to be basically the pure luxury ship to just kind of float around in style. The jury is still out on whether or not you're going to be able to do VIP missions. I've heard conflicting answers. I've heard yes, it will, no, it won't. If this can do VIP missions, then I think it'll be well worth the coin. You'll probably be able to make that money back pretty quickly. And yeah, I mean, the insides, it looks like it's going to be pretty sleek, almost like an Apple store for the ship, uh, in a ship form, Apple store in a ship form. Now, this is that lounge, from my understanding. You do have a pool table. I believe it's going to be like a holographic area with a tiger. I don't know if it's actually going to have a tiger, but a holographic area, possibly a television for that render to texture technology that they're implementing. Um, and yeah, the 600i is going to be up there for about $400. Here we go. 600i Touring, which is the luxury only model, $400. So now we come to the ships that are almost always / regularly available. I'm going to skip over these. So there's the 300i, which is the touring version, 315, the exploration, 325, the interdiction, and now we get to the 350R. Origin Jumpworks 300 series is the ultimate fusion of elegance and power. Every component, every part is individually calibrated, so no matter which model and option you choose, your ship will stay in perfect harmony as the ultimate in astroengineering. By far the fastest member of the family, the 350R refocuses all of the 300's power and translates it into pure speed. Now, I have a 350R, and they are not kidding. This is a fast ship. It is probably the fastest, if not second fastest ship in the game, period. The absolute fastest, I think, goes to the Drake Herald, but the 350R would beat the pants off of a Herald, as the Herald has almost no maneuverability. The 350R is quite maneuverable. Now, it's not an M50, which we will get to next. But the 350R is a damn respectable racing vehicle, and it's actually one of my favorites currently, especially in terms of racing. I mean, the black and yellow has such a sleek look to it. I actually highly dig the 350R. It does have a twin engine setup as opposed to the singular engine that all the other 300 series have. And I mean, this thing just straight up kicks ass. It only has 2 size 1 missiles on it, which really ain't that great. It's got the 2 Omnisky lasers on it, which easily can swap out, and then you have a third size 3 mount in the front, which I do believe is empty, so you'd be able to equip it however you thought necessary. They do make halfway decent fighters just for the fact that they're so fast, and they actually have a little bit of durability to them, to the point where I would actually say they are definitely more durable than the M50. And the 350 is $125. So it's quite a boost in price, given that the 325 I think is $70. So take that as you will, but in my opinion, the 350R is one of the better racers that is available currently. Speaking of, jump to the M50. If you want to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible and with as much style as possible, then Origin's M50 is for you. Featuring supercharged engines that counter a tiny weapon loadout, the M50 is a ship for going fast. So, I've actually done a video about the M50 recently, as it was the November subscriber ship of the month, along with the Starfarer. And I really like the speed and maneuverability of the M50. Let me say that outright. It's nice in that vein, but this thing is flimsy. I mean, this thing is damn flimsy. Now I know you're already probably starting to type like, well, yeah, of course it's a racer and da 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 da. Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I don't want to only be able to take a couple of shots before the thing is on the verge of blowing up, which has been my experience with the M50. It only has 2 size 1 slots, 2 size 1 hard points, sorry. So it is, again, it's not going to be able to do much. Hell, it's not even really able to defend itself. It's really only defense is being able to run away. But again, with its speed and maneuverability, you would be able to run away, and a skilled pilot would be able to maneuver it quite well. So if you're looking to only do racing or races or something along those lines, the M50 along with the 350R may be right for you. And the M50 is $100. So the M50 is only $100, and if you were looking for a racer, I would actually, in all honesty, I would suggest the 350R because it's a little bit more durable. But again, to each his own. Some people like the M50 because it looks kind of more like a Corvette, more like an actual supercar or something, especially with the red and white paint. I guess really that's going to come down to preference. So before I get to the last one, I'm actually going to do the 85X and do this a little bit backwards. So with that, the 85X, if you're a subscriber right now, you are able to CCU to the 85X, which is only $50, and it's a nice little snub. From my understanding, I believe the 85X is going to be the snub for the 890 Jump, which will be the last but certainly not least ship to go over. So let's get right to it. Elegantly styled and meticulously constructed, the 85X is a versatile and comprehensive away vessel that features precious control in and out of atmosphere. Utilizing much of the same thruster technology as the 300 series, it has the power of a racer with the reliability of a touring ship. Whether descending down to the planet's surface or taking in the sights of your system, this runabout continues Origin's proud tradition of turning heads. Now, a couple things wrong with the description. Yeah, it kind of holds with the 300 series, but the power of a racer, that's debatable. From my recollection, the 85X is not going to hold a candle to a dedicated racing craft, much like the 350 or the M50. It's a nice looking ship, I'll give you that. You can definitely tell it's from Origin because it's got, it's white, it's got those sleek lines, rounded, kind of has like that Swiss watch feel to it. But it, at its core, it is a snub ship. It is a runabout. It is along the lines of like a Merlin. Actually, the only difference between it is this actually does have a quantum drive. So you will be able to quantum jump with the 85X, unlike the Merlin or the Archimedes. The 85X is $50, and for the time being, you can actually take the turret, the bottom turret, which is this thing right here. You can take that off the ship and throw that onto certain size 3 hardpoints and get yourself 2 size 1 weapons out of a singular size 3. And that's actually how I went about making my Super Saber. I got 4 of these, so I threw 4 of these turrets on, threw on a bunch of bulldogs, and now my Super Saber, as it's been coined, shoots 8 bulldog repeaters at once. So it can put a hell of a lot of DPS downrange in a very short amount of time. It's definitely I'm kind of having trouble coming up with scenarios where the 85X would be really, really good because it's not that durable, but it's not that flimsy. I mean, it really would be great just for kind of having to do something quick if you've got one of the larger ships that this can attach to. And last but not least, the 890 Jump. This is the holy grail of luxury ships. With an elegant, sleek exterior that belies its spacious interior, the 890 Jump is a true engineering marvel. Crafted to impress from every angle by combining a unique, innovative design with the finest materials and the most advanced technology, the result is a vessel that is in a class all its own, a masterpiece worthy of the name Origin. Now, the 890 Jump is, for all intents and purposes, a space yacht. This thing is the epitome of space luxury. This is supposed to be the cockpit, the bridge. You got all these people in these weird white coats trying to give off the feeling of luxury and high class. This is going to be the crew quarters, and just from the materials and the looks, again, this is like an Apple Store yacht ship. Think Apple Store crossed with a ship, you get yourself the 890 Jump. Now, just with the sheer amount of space and with how pretty that this thing looks, this is a ship that a lot of people want. As you can see, the 85X was originally concepted as the snub that would come with the 890, which eventually kind of broke off and became its own sail and its own entity, as the 890 is still in production. Again, another look at the 85X interior, at least during a concept sale. And the 890 Jump is something that I aspire to hopefully have one day. This is the ship that I'm looking for in the anniversary sale. I mean, this thing is... oh, it's gorgeous. If I'm not mistaken, this can do VIP missions, possibly multiple, with the amount of size. I do believe this has a point defense system. If I'm not mistaken. It's also got, look at that, a Rhino laser repeater, so that's bigger than the Panther. A couple Panthers. I want to see if it says, I know that it's supposed to have a point defense system, much like the Constellation Phoenix has, which is going to make it highly sought after. This is also one of those more limited ships, so there's probably not going to be a lot on sale. So if this is something you've been eyeing, you got to be quick with the trigger pull. I'm just saying that now. And I'm going to be looking to get this ship. I got a couple of things I'm looking to melt, and I'm going to have to, because this is not a cheap ship. The 890 is 890. So if you ever want to know how much it was, just look at its name. The only thing that surpasses it are the Idris and the Javelin. And as you may know, the Idris M is basically never sold. The Idris P is another one that is limited. And yeah, these happen to sell out really fast each anniversary sale. So if you happen to get the chance to get one and you have the funds, do it. Otherwise, no, I hear you. That's damn expensive. Other than that, that is basically the wrap-up of the Origin ships. At least the Origin ships that you can't get on a daily basis. So I think I'm going to leave this video here. If you liked the video, please leave a like. That definitely tells me whether or not you guys like these series. Leave a comment down below. What's your favorite ship? Again, mine personally, it's that 890. I cannot wait to get more information on that. And yeah, if you guys want to see more of this, let me know. If you guys have ideas for other shows, again, throw it down in the comment section below. I always get in there and read your comments and try to respond back as much as possible. So with that, I'm going to leave the video here. You beautiful bastards out there, have yourselves a wonderful day. This has been Will. Peace.